Africa is an amazing and beautiful continent. Ghana is where I'm from, and we have amazing people, natural resources, and breathtaking landscape. This is a photograph of a beach in Accra in the year 2000. I remember walking by the beach with my dad. Beautiful, clean beach. And this is also an image of a beach in Accra in 2021. You can see the difference. The image of the beach in Accra in 2021 is dirty. As at the one in 2000, it's clean. If you take a critical look at the image of a beach in Accra in 2021, you realize that majority of the waste is made up of fashion waste. 10 years ago, I decided to be stylish in an organic way because of influences from family and siblings around me. So I was looking for a cost-effective way to do that. I didn't come from a family that is well-to-do, so I was looking for various ways. So I picked up clothes from my granddad, from my uncle's closets, clothes that have been passed on to me by my older sibling. I tailor them and then make them mine. And after a few years, I got introduced to a place called Kantamanto. Kantamanto is one of the biggest secondhand markets in the world. And it's a wonderland of people's trash that I pick up to become my treasure. I try to pick up, special things, not your average in the pile vintage t-shirt, but I try to look out for special pieces that would make me look unique. During my going through the piles in Kantamanto, I realized that a lot of things in there were not bought. And that brought the question that what happens to the things that I don't buy and other consumers don't buy? And taking a critical look into these things, I realized that most of the things that are not being bought are non-functional materials like leather, fur, and winter clothes. And obviously in Ghana, we don't have winter, so nobody would need it. And in my work, I work as a creative director, art director, and a stylist. And I source a lot from Kantamanto. So the question keeps popping up. And anytime I go to Kantamanto, I realize that the level of waste keep increasing. And it got me frustrated and got me worried at the same time. So Kantamanto is a market that is situated in Accra. And in Ghana, we receive over 40,000 tons of secondhand clothing every year. Over 15 million clothing circulate in Kantamanto every single week. And 40% of these secondhand clothes that come leaves the market as waste. Kantamanto is not an utopia of retailers. Everything that is on the market is not sold, reused, or recycled. In actual fact, there is no utopia anywhere in the world. This 40% of clothes that end up as waste is generated between 1 or 2 weeks when the clothes arrive on the market. The waste is formally or informally managed. Formally by just dropping it into the trash truck that goes to the landfill, and informally they just sweep it into the gutters and some throw it by the beach. About 150 billion garments are produced every year globally, and only 30% is not sold. 2,700 liters of water is needed to produce a t-shirt. And this is equivalent to the amount of water an average person will consume in 2.5 years. 50% of fast fashion products is disposed under a year. The fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world. Water pollution, plastic pollution, and greenhouse gas emission. Since the 90s, with the emergence of fast fashion, there's been so much varieties of clothes for us to choose from, and at a very cheap price. And this has encouraged overconsumption. Can you imagine that your t-shirt costs less than a cup of coffee? Would you let it last longer than a coffee? The US only exports 1 billion pounds of clothes, and most of that ends up here in Ghana. In order to save the planet, we need to slow down fast fashion, and we all need to become responsible consumers. About 90% of discarded clothes can be recycled or upcycled. We produce more than we consume, we produce more than we can use, and we literally waste. This is an image of Old Fadama, which is a landfill where some fraction of the waste clothes from Kantamanto is being dumped. Old Fadama is home to about 80,000 people, and which most of them work in Kantamanto. About 60% of the 30 feet landfill is made up of clothing waste. This is also the Pon landfill in Tema, which is in the Greater Accra region. And clothing makes up 20% of its capacity. 70 tons of clothes, clothing waste is being dumped here on a daily basis. This is a photo of clothes being washed to the beach behind the Osu Castle, which formerly used to be the presidential castle. And this is as a result of the waste not being disposed properly. And these clothes emit or produce microfiber that hinders the fishing industry. In 1994, there was a ban on some items that are secondhand, which are handkerchief, underwears for men and women, and sanitary wares. But it was never implemented. Now, my question is, why wasn't it implemented? Imagine if it was implemented, you would see the level of waste that will be taken off our oceans, our landfills, and then the gutters. The image next to it represents or shows a pile of secondhand clothing that has been displayed for sale in Kantamanto. Here is what you can do to help. We should accept sustainability as a practicing culture. Most of the time, Africa has been perceived or seen as an afterthought when it comes to conversations about sustainability, which I think, from my perspective, is not right and needs to change. Africa needs to be in the conversation from the start. Manufacturers should think about the end of the product at the beginning of production. Overproduction leads to excess waste. Overconsumption leads to excess waste. Buy what you need and not what you want because it's nice or it's discounted. Think critically before disposing items, especially non-degradable items. Let's cultivate the habit of repairing things that have minor damages on them, reusing, upcycling, and recycling. The revival is a community-led sustainable organization or initiative that was started in 2018 to deal with the textile waste, the problem or the issue of textile pollution. What we do is we intercept the waste from Kantamanto and upcycle them. And in this, we use tools of creativity, we use art and collaboration. We are a group of young entrepreneurs who are forward-thinking and have an aim of making the world a better place. We educate, we engage, we are always researching for innovative, efficient ways to tackle this monster called fashion waste using technology. Our aim is to foster a good and a healthy relationship between nature and fashion. We recycle waste to help solve problems in various industries in the economy. One that we are focusing on now is agriculture, which is pineapple farming. We recycle denim, which forms majority part of the fabric that are waste, and recycle them into uniforms for pineapple farmers. This is as a result of research and word of mouth things that we've heard from the farmers. That is, they sustain so many injuries, they get bruises on so many levels whilst they're farming. And this is as a result of they are not wearing the right gear to farm. And we came up together innovatively and collaboratively to use denim to create uniform. So the first image you see there is an image of what they used to wear during farming, and this makes them prone to a lot of injuries. This is an image of what we designed for them. We created an overall with denim, which is a top made of a denim jacket top and then a denim pants. And we also made it more fun by screen printing pineapples on them, just to make it more stylish. And this, after various tests and trials, the farmers are happy with it, they work with it, and it is solving a problem. This is also a way of us encouraging people to be involved in farming, because farming for some time has been seen as an occupation for poor people, which is a big error. I think without farming, humanity would struggle. Without food, you cannot live. So as many people that could be involved in farming, we will have abundance of food and would also bring down the importation of food here in Ghana, which will eventually lead to reduction of inflation and a lot more. This is an image of the Revival pop-up workshop. And at this pop-up workshop, we've done it twice, 2018 and 2019. And what we do here is we bring together most of the waste, clean them up, and then invite the public, which is the consumers, because consumers form the big part of the circulation of fashion. Without the consumers, we wouldn't have people buying the product. So we involve them in our process. And in this process, they learn, they get to be educated, and they get to be involved in the process. So you come, you take the waste, you design. There are tailors there from Kantamanto and also students that are from the fashion schools that will advise or help you piece together. So literally you come to the Revival pop-up workshop, you come and then you create something uniquely for yourself using waste. Our way of life could make us or break us. We all have a role to play in making this world a better place. It's a collective effort. Let's create a world in which action meets values. Imagine a world where sustainability is a practicing culture. There wouldn't be waste. Our beaches will be clean. You and I will be happy. Let's collectively foster a sustainable and harmonious relationship between nature and humanity. Thank you.